this guy was a good hitter. He would bat like 290.
One day Gordon came. We're ducking all over the yard.
Clean hit. That was a good hit. See, that's the judge hit right there. Where a judge usually puts it.
But what Doug didn't know was that the mainland people were in Gordon's cabin, and Gordon got infected by 524A. So they put, but what Doug didn't know, that Gordon was horribly mutated. I know it doesn't look like he's mutated, but he does has his face mask on. Hey Gordon, how you been doing? Gordon didn't say anything. He just stared at him sadly. And then when the mainland people came out and pretended he was going to drive it. Are you okay, Gordon?
Good hit.
Are you okay? The duck saw something frightening.
That's what it looks like.
Because Gordon was infected, Gordon ripped ripped off Duck's jaw, eyes, and brain, and then Duck died. Gordon looked horrifying. But when Henry and James found about this, they were sad. They found out what happened to Gordon. So Henry and James had to go to a different railway. So Henry and James went away because they didn't want to die because of Gordon, and they couldn't deal with this railway anymore. So then Henry and James went away. But just in case they would be found by the mainland people, they still had their weapons and they had grenades. But the driver fell out of the cab later on, and he was trying to get back. So the driver had a plan to get back, to get back on James, get back to driving James. So when they would come on the van, he would jump on his tender. Darn it. The driver almost fell. So the driver managed to get back at James. So Henry and Jane were looking for a safe place to hide. but the old shelter was blown up. Edward and Thomas were dead. Gordon was horribly mutated. Doug died. Percy got blown up. And Emily and Molly managed to find a shelter. Rosie and Diesel died. But Rosie and Diesel story is a different story. So James and Henry would stop by a few places to remember Sodor and their great memories there until they had to leave. Goodbye, Sodor, they said. So they went to the Great Western Railway. Because they followed the Flying Scot. No, not the Flying Scotsman. They found out that there were some edges there. They're hiding there. Since the war hasn't reached the Great Western Railway. Henry and James will stay there. And then they lost Sodor.